Hello, it's a hot day today. I thought I'd do an update. I've not done an awful lot really since the robbery. I'll be honest, my heart's not been in it. So we've got an empty shed, just a few razor blades around the edge. What have I been up to? Not a lot. So I've been cutting the grass. So we've got some little channels, so my normal walking routes. I've got little channels I can walk down. I'm going to have to cut them again soon. You can see the willow, which I didn't think was going to be growing here, has all started to sprout really nicely, right along and down here as well. So this will be a nice willow enclosure when it's all grown. And once it's covered up, so I'll give it a year or two to get a bit bigger, and then I'm going to replace that metal shed with a concrete one. I don't know whether to do it through the right channels and get all the permissions and things, or just build one. Fuck 'em. Well, I'll think about that later when the time comes. You see the willow fence is also coming along here, so there'll be another willow wall, and we've got willow coming around. Now these were actually sticks that I'd knocked in to support these ferns, which are pretty dead, but the willow has really come up. So I've got these willow trees. That one's not doing much, but this one is. And this one's doing nicely, and some here. We've got a few hidden cameras along there and at the end as well, some of those wildlife cameras which I keep posting. I've not caught any burglars yet. We'll see. We've got willow growing all along at the back of the fence, so I'm going to be making a willow fence there. There's a couple that have taken on that side, but not much. But also, if you look at the fence as well, the actual willow I've knocked in for posts is also starting to take, which I'm amazed by. I never expected this to take at all, because they're so big, these sticks, and I just whacked them in with a hammer, chopped them off at the end with an axe to get them something like, and they're all growing, so I'm quite pleased with that. It'll be a nice willow fence that when it's done. Now the outdoor vegetables are doing absolutely bugger all. This clay soil is just far too tough, rock solid. And I was advised by a mate to try potatoes. What's that there? Is that a shit? Is that an animal shit? What the hell's that? If Bear Grylls would be eating that now. It looks like an animal shit. I'm not sure what. Or it might be I cut my sandwiches with that knife. I shouldn't really be cutting shit with it as well. Oh well, flat at flavour. Oh, something's shite there. Don't know what that is. It's a fairly big turd. But anyway, I was saying, yeah, these channels, I've done nothing on them because I didn't plant anything on them. I thought I'd see how this one does first. And nothing, absolutely nothing has grown. It's just rock solid, absolute rock solid. So a mate suggested putting potatoes in. It was who was it? It was Brownie, David Brown, who said try potatoes. So I put a load of cut up potatoes in that have all sprouted. They've been in the dark, they've sprouted, and I've put them in along there, and I'll see what happens with them. But again, it's so rock solid that we'll see what happens. But hopefully the potatoes will turn it round a bit. In the greenhouse, the willow I knocked in along the side has grown. You'll see we've got some extra supports because we had a storm and it sagged a bit. So I'm going to take this down at the end of the year and build it again with some more things. Very disappointed with my peppers. All my peppers died. They were doing really well. And then I took them home to put on the balcony, which was a bad move because we had a thunderstorm and it was just a really ice cold thunderstorm and all dead. They are not going to recover. This, I mean, one or two may just pull through, but no, all dead. Very disappointed. The rocket and the basil have been replanted, some over here, some at the top of the field. Strawberries have done nothing. I've reseeded these, so these had 2 lots of seeds in, and I've just sprinkled the seed on a light covering, and the strawberries are just not coming through at all. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong there with strawberries. 3 sunflower, squash. These squashes look as if they're climbing plants. That's a climbing little tendril that comes off. I didn't think they were climbing plants, so I'm going to have to put some sort of netting on there and see if that helps them. The tomatoes are doing great. They're looking well. The asparagus has come up nicely. And the peas are doing great. See, we've got some nice big pods on there. The grapes, look at the grapes. These are from the cuttings from last year. So we've definitely got a nice one there. This one's doing well. A little leaf there. One coming up, a bud. Good leaf, bud. And a lovely leaf on that one. The others I don't think are going to make it. But I'll leave them in. It's costing nothing. I'll leave them in, see what happens. Onions, carrots. What is bollocks? Can't think of it. What the hell? Parsnips. That's what they are, parsnips. Now, I was going to replant these somewhere else. I was going to plant them outside once they got to a certain size, but I don't think they'll grow outside in that soil. It's just too tough. So I've left them here, and when I tried to pick them up, I noticed they were stuck to the floor. So the roots have gone through now. It's only about that deep, this plastic. The roots have gone through, and it's open at the bottom. So I think they'll just grow underneath. So I'm just going to leave them, see what happens. I think they'll burst through and they'll grow. So I'll leave them at that. Step over the squash. Here we've got 2 corn. Now all this was corn, and we got these 2 which grew, which is a bit disappointing. I was hoping more of them would grow. Again, these are well stuck on the floor now, so I've just left them. They're going to come straight up anyway. So we'll have 2 pieces of corn, which isn't exactly a bumper crop, but we'll see what happens with them. Besides, these tomatoes are doing well. There's no little green tomatoes on them yet, but they're going all right. Step through the maze. Bloody hot in here. My God, it's hot. Whew. Must be 300 degrees in there. No joke. 300 degrees. Starting to melt. Let's close that. Pop the security stick in. And I'll take you up the top of the field. Because we're robbed, there's nothing in that shed anymore, and I just throw stuff around, so there's bits of hose and bits of tools just lying around the grass. I figured there's less chance of them getting robbed. Well, that's only me knows where they are. These are the ones I got cheap, and they've all started to come up. These are a nectarine. Let's have a look at the other nectarine there, starting to come up. Only €6 each, these, on a sale in a shop. So I picked them up, and they're doing okay. The plums, I've got 2 red plum and 1 black in the middle. The black hasn't done anything. This one is getting savaged by something, and I do not know what. I keep looking for it, thinking there must be something on there that I can see and take off, but I cannot see anything. I know some things, some little creepy crawlies, go right down to the bottom of the roots during the day and come out at night. But I cannot see anything on these leaves, but something is definitely having a good munch on those. Luckily it hasn't touched the other one at the end there, and the black one isn't doing anything, unfortunately. But 2 red plum trees will be enough. 2 nectarines. We've got at the bottom here, we've got our cherry trees. You see, I've cut these channels in because it's bloody hard work cutting all this. Even with my little tractor thing, you're kind of heaving it around. And it's not the easiest job. I need a little sit-on mower really, but I ain't going to be getting one of them until I've got somewhere secure to put it. So here we have our cherry trees, all doing well. Let's walk along into the shade. Another cherry tree. And another cherry tree. We've got different types of cherry, as I keep telling you every time we come on. But 3 more cherries, all doing well. And 3 more cherries, all doing well. There they are. And I was surprised we didn't have any more deer eating them, because we had 1 pear tree up here which was just savaged fired here, it was taken right back down to the wood, which was a bit of a bugger, but it's recovered. And I've put this high class security string up, no expense spared, some willow stuck in, more apples and pears, that's just a stick. Anything you put on, I've found, anything different scares the deers off, so I come up as much as I can and I just switch things around, put some bags on, bottles on, little things like this. Got that little scarecrow at the end. Where is he? Can you see him down there? There he is. And up at the top, this is doing quite well. So we've got the little hoop, the horseshoe. That's the raspberry bush, which seems to have stopped growing as much. It's not burst through. Wonder if it thinks it's in prison that it can't come out. That's why it's not growing. Come on, little raspberry bush. Let's have some raspberries this year. So I've got bits of crap growing in with it. But my little raspberry bush in its cage to stop the deer. Here we've got a little, another security camera there. And you can see the grass seed has come up in this. Now this was a grass seed and wildflower mix, but there's no wildflower not come through, but the grass is quite a strong plant and it's burst through the wood chip. So that'll be a nice grass covering. I was hoping it'd stick to the sides a bit more, but I kind of wetted it down and threw it on the sides, but it hasn't stuck. But it's doing all right. I took my seats off until it grows properly. I've just moved the cuttings out the way. You see you've got the willow here growing well, so all the stumps that I put in are all growing quite well. So if that willow grows on this side and this side, I might plant a few more on the edge and then create a willow sort of igloo out of it. So we've got a nice shaded hidden area. Got some rocket on here, and we have a drip feed which is just dripping away. I'll put a couple out. Is it dripping? Drip, drip. Turn it up a touch. Drip, drip. Now what's this to stop? I'm not sure what's to stop the air getting in and that coming out. Ooh, that one's running away now. Turn it down. So I've got these drip feeders. I thought I'd give them a try on the rocket, and I've only got the 2 Coke bottles at the minute. Well, I've got loads of these. They were dirt cheap, so I'll stick one on every one and just let it drip, so the clay doesn't get rock hard and kill the rocket. Because it'd be really nice if that was a nice bed of rocket. There's a house the kids made, which is still stood up. We made it about a month ago, just about standing up. We're going to cut all this grass back, and I really like some beehives, just a couple in this area. So I'll cut it back and flatten it out, but no doubt I'll have to get permission for it. One of my friends was saying if I don't get permission, if I just do it and somebody was to sort of walk past and get stung, then I could be in the shit with that. So it's probably worth doing it, asking permission, but they're going to say no. They always say no for anything. I don't know why. It's just what they do here. A very negative place. We've got some, this is a cherry tree, which is doing very well. And the pear tree, which was down at the bottom, but it was getting so saturated, I thought I'd move it. And I moved it just before it started to leaf. And it's doing very well under all the hedge. Here the farmer's cut his grass. I was hoping I'd be able to catch him, and then I could tell him to cut this as well and keep the hay for his animals, but I missed him. Bugger. So I'll have to do it with my little tractor. I want to keep this. I want to keep the ferns down as much as possible. I've been cutting them when I can and try and get the blackberries growing up here. So we've got plenty of blackberries And this is going to be the blackberry area. And that's that. So I've got plenty of plans for the place, but not done an awful lot. Wait and see if those thieves come back. My worst fear is that everything will fruit and they'll come back and just take all the fruit and the veg. They'll just clear it out one day, which is months and months of work just taken, which would be very hard. So I'll see what happens. I'll keep coming down every day. We've got a couple of security cameras around. And that's that. Hope you're having a good day. Wonder if the weather's like over there. There it is here. Bloody roasting. Whew. Right, I'm done. See you all later.